A few weeks ago, Disney released the teaser trailer for their newest animated film, Hex. It was first announced during D23, and they showed what the main characters would look like soon after. After years of sequels, live-action fever dreams, and Pixar's original films not doing well at the box office, maybe this new movie is what will bring back that old Disney spark. Well, the comments said otherwise. So, yeah, this teaser was not well received. People had a lot to say about the movie, but there were comments I found quite interesting which can be summed up into these three arguments. This movie's a ripoff of The Owl House, this looks like AI slop, and the moment an original animated film releases after people have been begging for one, it suddenly receives backlash. These arguments are going to be the topic of today's video. Today, we're going to analyze what these comments are trying to say and if there's some validity to them. This is what I'm doing instead of working on my other video projects. Huge disclaimer before we get into analyzing, I am not a professional. I am just very passionate about animation and film. These are my observations and opinions on the media we're going to discuss, so if you disagree with any of them, let me know in the comments. I really need the engagement. Please. Also, I have not fully watched the shows I will be talking about because I can't find them on my family's Disney Plus for some reason. I know, I too am ashamed for not watching these great shows. You can throw the tomatoes. The first argument we're going to be discussing is, this movie is a ripoff of The Owl House. If you don't know, The Owl House is an animated TV show created by Dana Terrace which aired from 2020 to 2023. It tells the story of Luz Noceda, a young girl who stumbles upon a magical realm called the Boiling Isles. There, she meets a rebellious witch named Ida Hawthorne and a young demon named King. Luz pursues her dreams of becoming a witch while forming an unlikely family with the pair. The series was cancelled during its second season due to not having the right target audience, which I find hard to believe was the reason, but that's a different topic people have already discussed in full. But it was given 3 special episodes for season 3 in order to complete its story. This obviously made people upset at Disney because the show was amazing and beloved, and that anger only increased when Disney announced Hexed, in which a lot of people noticed it had a similar premise to The Owl House. Let's read that premise, shall we? According to the YouTube description, Hex introduces the impulsive and unconventional teenage girl Billy and her cautious mother Alice. When Billy accidentally unleashes secret magical abilities, she's hurtled out of suburbia and into the magical realm called Hex, where she's greeted by Miss Quill and Elias Squire. As Billy's spectacle-filled journey unfolds, she uncovers family mysteries that would change the magical world of witches forever. Reading that, you can see why people were upset, and understandably so. However, I hate to say this, but Hex isn't a ripoff of The Owl House because The Owl House isn't the first show to follow this kind of story. Both The Owl House and Hex follow a genre of storytelling called portal fantasy, better known as isekai. According to Overly Sarcastic Productions, portal fantasy is a genre of fiction where a character gets transported into another world. Thank you guys for making this trope talk, by the way. Way more reliable than Google these days. If The Owl House and Hex follow the same genre, then why does The Owl House receive more positive reception when telling this story than Hex? I believe it's because unlike Hex, The Owl House adds something new to this genre of storytelling. Usually, when a character travels into another world, the character's number one goal is to either try to go home or try to survive this unfamiliar world. Luz Noceda does none of these things. I am surprised at how she's still alive. From what I can recall, in the first season, Luz can go home anytime since Ida has a magical door that brings her to and from the human realm. That means her fear of not going home has been resolved. So instead, Luz makes the most of her time in the Boiling Isles by learning how to be a witch. Well, Jelly, The Owl House is just one show. That doesn't mean every fantasy media has to do something new to be interesting, I hear you ask. Well, good thing I have even more examples. Amphibia is another amazing show that adds an interesting twist to the portal fantasy genre. Usually, it's only one character that gets transported into another realm, but Amphibia actually has 3 characters that get transported: Anne, Sasha, and Marcy. The world itself is also very unique. Instead of the usual elves, witches, and other fantasy species, just like the title suggests, Amphibia's population mostly consists of amphibians: frogs, toads, salamanders, and many more. Star versus the forces of evil is sort of like a reverse Portal fantasy. Instead of coming from the human realm, Star comes from the fantasy world known as Muni and travels to the human realm after her parents sent her there in order for her to learn how to use her magic responsibly. Speaking of her magic, Star is not stuck in the human realm. Using her magic wand, she can travel to different worlds alongside her friend Marco. Now that we took a look at all of these examples, what does Hex add to the Portal fantasy genre to make itself stand out from its predecessors? Well, Billy has magic powers. That's unique. Wait, nope, Star already has that one. She has a talking book and Quill as companions. I guess that's different. Billy and her mom have some tension between them, although all the shows I've mentioned already have that story plot. As you can see, Hex has similar story beats like a lot of stories in the Portal fantasy genre. It doesn't add anything unique to this genre of storytelling, which makes it feel very boring and basic to the point people assume that it ripped off the Owl House when it allegedly did not. In character design, there is something known as shape language, in which shapes are used to help form the basic silhouette of a character. This ensures that the character stands out from other characters in a straightforward or subtle way. A character's personality can also be shown through shape language. Knowing this, let's compare and contrast Luz and Billy's designs with one another to see if the AI slop has some nuance to it. Luz Naceda has a very simple character design at first glance, but when you look more into it, there are some design aspects that can tell you what kind of character she is. First, Luz's features are very circular, her facial features are very round, and she has her hair in a pixie cut. These design aspects tells us that she is a young, bubbly, and friendly person, which is good because she is the protagonist and we want to root for her. Her outfit consists of a white and lavender shirt, jean shorts, leggings, and white slip-ons. This outfit looks casual and quite sporty even though Luz is not known for that, but it is the best outfit for her to wear since she goes on adventures all the time that require a lot of movement. They don't show it a lot, but her shirt also has a lavender hoodie with cat ears that gives us hints of her personality's quirky side and the magical aspects of her character, since cats and the color purple are usually associated with magic and witches. Like I said at the beginning, Luz's design is very simple, but that's a good thing because it helps the design show her character progression. As the story progresses, her default outfit changes. She gains a long purple cloak that helps her fit into the magical world, and, spoilers for the show, Luz starts wearing Edith's Letterman jacket to show that she's becoming more rebellious and closed off in a way, as she discovers more of the dark secrets being hidden by the Boiling Isles ruler, Emperor Bellows. On the other hand, Billy's character design tells a different story. Billy's facial features are more angular than Luz's. Her face is shaped like a square and her chin is more pointed. Usually in shape language, pointed triangular shapes make the character look aggressive and tense, while more square-looking characters are grounded and stable. This also makes Billy look older in some angles and younger in others, which makes it a bit disorienting when she moves. The dark makeup that she wears doesn't help with this either. While this isn't a bad thing, Billy's the protagonist, and these make her design look unapproachable and imbalanced, and that's not a good look for someone who you'll be with throughout the movie. Now, looking at Billy's outfit, it is very obvious that Disney was trying to make her look like the stereotypical rebellious teenager you would see in movies like this. Billy is wearing a dark gray jacket, black skirt, dark green stockings, and dark purple combat boots. Some silver accessories are sprinkled into her design to make her outfit fit the alt aesthetic. Her outfit also uses a lot of dark colors, which makes her outfit look muddy because it's blending in with her already dark hair and the background, especially when the lighting is dark. They solved this by making her wear a white school uniform with a bright red tie. This uniform does not fit with the alt aesthetic Billy is going for, but I believe that's intentional because, like she says in the teaser, that there's something wrong with her, and they're probably showing that using the clash between her aesthetic and the uniform. Billy's design is also very simple to probably do the same character progression that Luz's design did. They show a bit of this in the teaser and first look when we see Billy wearing a witch's cloak that also looks quite muddy because the cloak and her hair have similar burgundy colors. The problem with this is her design is not something you would see in alternative fashion. Some people have stated that the outfit is quite basic and barely alternative. In fact, they have said that this is just a really normal outfit you would see teens wear in recent years, and I can attest to that because I know and have seen people wear these outfits similar to Billy, and they weren't going for the alt aesthetic. These aspects of Billy's design tells us that she's a rebellious underdog that's kind of quirky and relatable. But this doesn't make us want to root for her. It just tells us that she's not like other girls, and it doesn't tell us more about her motivations, and the lackluster writing does not help with this. Ever since Disney's priorities were live-action nostalgia baits and sequels, people have been wanting to go back to the days when Disney actually cared about creating unique and heartfelt stories. While they have been trying to do that, barely, when they do tease or release original animated films, they wouldn't be initially received well, and it seems like Hex would be no different. Because of that, there are some arguing that those people are being hypocrites whenever they ask for original films, because these films would receive backlash from them. However, I don't really agree with this argument because while Hex has been receiving a lot of negative feedback, that doesn't mean all original animated films do. There is one example of an upcoming original animated film that has been receiving mostly positive feedback from people who have watched its trailer. I am talking about, of course, Forgotten Island. Now, I have to admit I am very biased when it comes to this movie because this is probably, if not, the first animated movie created by an international company that centers around Philippine culture. And I'm not sure if you can tell, I am 100% a Pinoy. In Forgotten Island, while celebrating their last night together, Joe and Raisa stumble upon a mysterious portal that transports them to the fantastical island of Nakali, packed with magical and mythological creatures they grew up hearing stories about from their Filipino families. Some of these figures will become friends, some foes. Joined by the well-meaning but hapless were-dog Ra and a small but mighty pack of pals, Joe and Raisa must face the dreaded Manananggal, the most feared creature on the island. When they discover that the memories of their entire friendship are the price for returning home, Joe and Raisa will race to find a way to leave the island before they forget each other forever. Reading the premise alone makes me feel super excited for what this movie has in store. For one, this film also follows the portal fantasy genre of storytelling, and it adds something new to it to make it stand out. Instead of one character getting transported, it's two. And instead of the typical fantasy realm of witches and elves, the film takes place in a fantasy world that revolves around Filipino folklore. We can see Filipino mythical creatures in the trailer like the Ibong Adarna, aswangs, and the main villain is a Manananggal. Forgotten Island is also way more relatable for me than Hex because the protagonists are going through college like me and are going through the same problems and experiences as me. The activities that Joe and Raisa are doing in the trailer are activities I have done with my friends and family, like karaokeing, wearing those familiar school uniforms, anik-anik bracelets, and stealing jeepneys. Okay, more like riding jeepneys. I'm way too nervous to actually steal something. The character designs also look phenomenal. I can instantly tell just by looking at them who Joe and Raisa are and what their personalities are like. Joe has a square build which makes her look strong and tomboyish, and her outfit adds to that. She's wearing overalls and has colorful shoes and accessories like the drawings on her overalls, her bracelets, the strange headband, and the boombox she holds in the poster. Joe also has her hair tied up in a spiky bun. All of these elements show that Joe seems to be a very outgoing and loud person while also being a bit reckless, as seen with her only wearing one strap of her overalls, the messy hair despite it being tied up, and the bandage on her arm being held together with duct tape. Raisa is the perfect contrast to Joe. While she's also wearing colorful clothing like her jacket, her outfit is more put together. She's wearing a simple polo shirt, gray sneakers, and big glasses that tells us she's quite studious. She doesn't have as many accessories as Joe, only wearing golden hoop earrings, a watch, and her friendship bracelet that matches with Joe's. Something I notice is that her jacket is quite big on her, which hides her small silhouette, which makes me believe that she wears the jacket to seem bigger and to hide her quiet and timid nature. Another reason why I love the character designs of Joe and Raisa is that they look like Filipinos. They look like Pinoys I've seen in real life, and they also look like me. There's a Tumblr post I read a while ago that has stated something that can further emphasize my thoughts on these designs. Raisa has that chinita mestiza look, while Joe is more native looking. This alone hints a lot at their different socio-economic backgrounds, showing the studio's deep understanding of Filipino society. If you want to read more on their analysis, I have the link to the post in the description. Now that we took a look at Hex and compared and contrasted to the Owl House in Forgotten Island, I'm pretty sure you're all asking, or probably not, why did I create this video in the first place? Actually, I wasn't going to create the video at all. When I first watched the Hex trailer, I felt nothing when I saw it. Like, I didn't feel angry, I didn't feel sad or excited. I felt nothing. And I was going to give it the benefit of the doubt because this is like another original film Disney has made and it's not another sequel. So it's like, maybe it's gonna be good. It's just a teaser trailer. The problem is, we've seen Forgotten Island's marketing. We've seen the trailer, and I know that a teaser trailer and official trailer are very different from one another, but they're still both trailers. And Forgotten Island has done a much better job telling their story through the trailer than Hex. And I didn't realize that until I watched the Shrek 5 trailer, which doesn't make sense, but let me explain. So, for those who don't know, Hex and Shrek 5, both of their teaser trailers released on the same day at the same time. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but it probably is. It probably is, probably isn't. I don't really know. And when I watched the Hex trailer, I felt nothing, right? But when I watched Shrek 5, despite the really uncanny designs, I was more excited for that because I was like, sure, the designs look weird, but it's just the teaser trailer, so maybe the story is gonna be good. So I was way more excited for that, and I was like, why am I excited for a sequel than an original film? It doesn't make sense. And as I was thinking about it more, I realized it's because DreamWorks was also the same studio who's also going to create Forgotten Island, and it just clicked for me. I don't know why Shrek 5 made it clicked for me. So yeah, it did. In short, I just wish I could have the same excitement I felt when I was a kid when they released trailers for the new Disney films coming out during that time, but I can't. I'm just really glad and grateful that Forgotten Island gave me back that spark. And I guess my only concern is that DreamWorks is the one doing it, not Disney anymore. And I love DreamWorks, okay? I was just a bit concerned because, like, why can't Disney make me feel the same way anymore? And it really sucks that it doesn't. So, yeah, I'm not going to hate on you if you're excited for Hex or if you don't like Forgotten Island. Everyone has their own opinion. This is why I made this video in the first place, to explain my thoughts and further analyze why I felt this way with Hex and why I felt this way with Forgotten Island. And I'm really glad I did. So anyways, just remember, this is just a fun video where I observed some of the things I notice in these movies and the shows that I discuss. It's not meant to be very professional, like I said in the beginning of the video, but I still hope you learned something from this. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you're entertained. Bye!